Yes, so today we are going to learn about how to do a Laravel package development. First of all, we are going to create a Laravel project using Composer. Then we are going to create a package, then install it using a Composer. Know about the basic details about service provider and config, and test it with Laravel package. So yeah, let's get started. So first of all, let's name it Laravel Composer. Now we have installed the Laravel project and especially Laravel 11. Let's go started. Let's go to the project. Okay. We are going to run it simply. PHP artisans. So yeah, now we have come to this project. Now let's go to the package creation part. Okay, so first of all, we are going to create this folder called, under this packages, we are going to create another folder called Mindr. Then we are going to call it util, and then we are going to call it source. So first of all, we need to come to the util folder. So now let's initialize the composer. To initialize the composer, we need to run the composer init command and answer the following questions to answer it and type it as. So now once we have wrote down this, now let's go to the next step. So Laravel uses a mechanism called service provider mechanism to recognize that this is a Laravel package or not. So what we need to do is we need to go to the source folder and create a service provider. In that service provider, there are two main functions. There is a boot method and there is another method called register method. Okay. In that method, we can want to provide the configuration and the whatever classes that we need to provide. And yeah, that's it. That's all we need to do. So let's go to that project, that part, and then we can come up to here and start installing this package to the root there. So let me go to this and call it util service provider and PHP. So let's give it a namespace. Namespace should always be the top of your file. So a namespace, the vendor util, and we are going to call it util service provider. This is a default class initialized by Laravel itself, so we do not need to care to do initialize two functions, boot and register. So whenever a package has been installed in any Laravel application, these two files will be called by the Laravel ecosystem by default. First, it's going to call this function. And this function will have all the methods that needs to be called first. And then it will have this functionality that needs to be called second. For example, let's say you need to copy something, for example, config file, environment file, view, controller. You can describe here and do the copy here, and it will be copied via same link. To use that copied file, then you can go here and register those classes. So let's say, for example, let's say I am writing a logic for util, and what we need to do is we need to go there, PHP namespace, and call it util, and that's all we need to do. This has been done, and then what we need to do, come up here and register it as a singleton method. You can register it as a method. I'm going to do it in a singleton pattern. So first of all, we need to come here, and then we need to do is to use. Then what we need to do is then we need to call this here condition. We need to provide some details information here, okay, which is in the package.json, which is called extra. In this extra, what we need to do is we need to provide it the information about the service provider class. Anyone can go there and write any file name and anything. So Laravel requires this thing, this standard. So whenever any package is going to be initialized in Laravel project, it's going to check that composer.json. If that composer.json has extra .laravel .providers, it's going to run that provider. This is how Laravel will know that there is something coming up for the Laravel project, and this has something really built for the Laravel ecosystem. And yeah, that's all we need to do. Now let's go to the next step and install this package to our project. The first of all, we need to come here and define something called repositories. Okay, that come here. Okay, and this repository, we need to define that package. What is that package? So that package is called Sony Util. Then what we need to do is we need to come up here and do the option streamlinks true. This is how it will know that there is another repository, there is a local repository that has been developed. And now what we need to do is we need to copy this name and install it in here. We need to go there and run it in the requires and run the composer update command. It did is that it checked this composer JSON file and check that if we have a new package called this. First of all, it's going to check this repository's object and see if this is relevant to this, then it's going to be installed locally. And how it's going to install? It's going to do a symlink. So let's test this code again, that we have got it or not. So let's go to the route tab. Just let's test this. Hello German. Let's go to the next step, which is to using the environment variable. It's very important to show you how it's done. So first of all, we need to go here and go to the packages folder, source, and create a config and call it sonyutils.php and do the basic stuff. For example, return Sony utils. We are going to use this environment variable. What we need to do is we need to let our service provider know that we have a configuration file that requires to be copied over to the main here, meaning that here, and do this. Once we do the composer update, it's going to be copy this file to this folder, and it will be act as a normal project. So let's do that composer update. So once we have this, now what we need to do is PHP artisan when we publish PHP artisan vendor publish. Okay, so we have published that. Let's come up here and see that for version. Let's do again the composer update. Go there and say it version 1.0.1, 0.0. Now go to the cloud. Let's restart our PHP store again. So since it has already started, and yeah, it's awesome. It's working. So yeah, in the short video, you have seen me creating a new Laravel project, creating a new Laravel composer package, installing it, creating a service provider, creating a config provider, and using it in a route to test it. Let's hop to the deployment part. How we can deploy it. We need to hop up on packages.organization. This is the default package repository for PHP. We need to create an account here. Now we need to publish the code to the GitHub. This is very important to publish a Laravel package to the repository. Now push the code to the GitHub to make it public or assignment. Okay. Now once we have done this, now come on to the packages.org website and click on submit after login into it, and submit your GitHub URL and click on check. And after that, it's going to accept it. If the package is valid, once it has been accepted, it's going to register it as a package and let other users to download it and use it in their project. So yeah, this is the small demo of how you can publish a package to the packages of a PHP and Laravel project. Let me know if you have any further questions. I will helping you to answer by answering the questions in the comments below by hashtag Laravel composer package, and I will be answering those questions.